This is attorney Stephen Turpak from Sutter and Turpak. We're a personal injury and employment firm in Fairfax County, Virginia, home to some of the worst traffic in the world, lucky for us. And this is our video newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is maximizing your recovery in personal injury cases using health insurance. I have an email I'd like to read to you, but before we do, let's start with the basic premise. Your goal in almost anything in life should be to save time, money, and heartache. That is the beginning and the end point of our discussion and the reason we are here. Now, when you've been involved in an accident or injury, you've been forced into essentially a business transaction that you weren't ready for. You didn't prepare for it. You didn't see it coming in any way. You probably aren't familiar with the rules involved. You're not familiar with the timelines. And it's like opening a Pandora's box. So what you want to do is keep everything in the box and keep it organized. So I'm going to provide you with a disclaimer. Of course, I'm not your attorney. You should not consider anything that I say legal advice. There's absolutely no substitute for a one-on-one consultation with a qualified attorney in your state. We're in Virginia, and of course the state laws are different in each state. In some ways they're similar, but in many ways, especially the tricky ways, they are different. I'm not your attorney unless you've signed with a pen a legal fee agreement or a retainer agreement with my firm. But if you have any questions, I am available for a consultation on Virginia cases, and all consultations are free. So let's dive into the email. Hello, Mr. Turpak. I was in an accident last month in Virginia and the other driver was at fault. I went to the hospital and they asked me what happened and I told them I was in a car accident. They told me to bill it through the auto insurance and they did not write down my health insurance information. I started getting bills and calls from the hospital. They said they're going to put me in collections. I called the other driver's auto insurance company and the lady on the phone told me she would pay for the hospital and she sent me a check for the exact amount of the bill. What about my lost wages? Are they trying to rip me off? Why weren't the bills paid right away? Should I use my health insurance? Well, the short answer, as you probably gathered from the title of this newsletter, is yes, you should use your health insurance. And the bottom line reason to use it is because of money. Now, I said in the beginning, you're involved now in a business transaction involving money. Unfortunately, it also involves your health, but what the law can provide is not health. The law can provide you with money. So that's what we're talking about. So let's go through some of the points in this email. I was in an accident last month in Virginia and the other driver was at fault. Well, that's very good that it was the other driver that was at fault, because in some states, like Virginia, if you're even 1% at fault, you can lose your injury case. So it's good to hear that the other driver was at fault. Hopefully the police came and wrote them a ticket and did a police report, all of which will be topics of later newsletters. But for now, we're going to assume you were not at fault. I went to the hospital and they asked me what happened. And I told them I was in a car accident. So this is could be a problem in some instances. In many hospitals, when you go in and you tell the first person you see, I need help, I was in an accident, they will try to get you to sort of give up your health insurance and bill it through the auto insurance. And the reason they do that is because they think they're going to get paid more money if they bill through the personal injury claim. That's because health insurance companies make big write-offs on hospital bills. Now, that can work in your favor, and I'll explain how it works in your favor. However, if it's the doctors or the nurses or the healthcare practitioners that are asking you how you were hurt, well, of course, they're probably doing it for the right reasons because they want to figure out what's wrong with you and what they can best do to treat you. So that's normal. They told me to bill it through auto insurance and they did not write down my health insurance information. That is trouble. Again, what are they doing? You have health insurance, your health insurance is obligated to pay it. Are they looking out for you or are they looking out for them? I started getting bills from the hospital. They said they're going to put me in collections. Well, that's just really unfortunate, because if they had billed health insurance from the beginning, there would be no collections. You might be getting a couple billing statements showing that you owe 10, 20, 30, 40, or $100 for a copay, but you're certainly not going to get a $5,000 hospital bill, including CT scans, emergency room doctors, and all of the above. You're going to be getting a much smaller bill with almost everything paid off through your health insurance. I called the other driver's auto insurance company, and the lady on the phone told me, this must have made you feel good, told you she would pay for the hospital and sent me a check for the exact amount of my bill. Okay, so this could be trouble, because the other driver's insurance company isn't going to pay, generally speaking, bill by bill by bill. They're going to pay one time. So if you sign a check, I can bet you that check's going to say full and final settlement of your bodily injury claim. And you're thinking to yourself, well, what about my lost wages? What about my suffering? Well, that's the thing. If you sign a check from the other driver's auto insurance company for your personal injury claim, then that could be the end of it. What about my lost wages? Well, like I said, you are entitled to more. A personal injury claim is not just medical bills. It includes your pain, suffering, inconvenience, and the injury itself. What if it's a permanent injury? What if it left scars? What if it left you disabled? That could be vastly more valuable than just your bills at the hospital. Are they trying to rip me off? Why weren't the bills paid right away? Well, like I said, the other driver's auto insurance company is not required, or insurance companies in general, they're not required to pay anything actually until there's a judgment entered against them. What they will do is attempt to pay as little as possible to protect who? To protect themselves and to protect the negligent driver. So back to the final question, should I use my health insurance? Yes, but you should do it quickly. Health insurance companies have filing deadlines. It can be 30 days, it can be up to a year, but you don't know probably what that deadline is. So what you need to do is look at your bill, call the billing office, there should be a number on the bill, tell them, hey, this is my account number, I have health insurance, I want you to bill my health insurance. And at that point, when you're calling through the billing office, they will pretty much always take the information down and bill it. And if you're paranoid, you can call them back in a couple days and ask them, hey, did you bill my health insurance? And they will hopefully tell you yes. And the great thing about that is let's just say, for example, you have a $1,000 hospital bill. Your health insurance pays it off except $100. So you're stuck with a $100 copay. But you're probably not getting threatened to get put into collections. And you can use that full $1,000 bill as part of your personal injury case, even though your health insurance already paid it. And that's where you can start to recover and maximize your payout in a personal injury claim. Now, of course, we're presuming that all of your medical bills are legitimate, they're of reasonable amounts, they're related to the accident, they were necessary to take care of you. And we're presuming that the other driver was at fault for this crash. So, one thing you should remember is that the purpose of personal injury law is twofold, at least. One purpose behind it is to pay victims who've been injured through no fault of their own and help them become whole, help them become one again. The second reason is to deter bad conduct, meaning to stop bad drivers from driving badly by making them pay. It's something that just helps keep society ordered. So if you have a question about saving time, money, and heartache after an accident or injury, You can book a one-on-one consultation at our law firm. Consultations for Virginia injury cases are free. And thank you for watching our video newsletter, and I will see you again.